From the break, I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. In the wake of detection of Omicron cases in India, the authorities at Delhi airport have warned of strict action against travellers arriving from at-risk countries and not following COVID protocols. The Indian government has made a negative RT-PCR test and home quarantine mandatory for people coming to India from such countries. Airport officials say that passengers arriving from at-risk countries are not following 7-day home quarantine rules. Many were found meeting people and visiting places. The Delhi airport also said on Twitter on Monday that testing capacity has been updated to ensure smooth flow of the international arrival process. This has been done after chaotic scenes were witnessed at the Indira Gandhi International Airport due to the new guidelines, which came in effect from December 1st. Joining us at this point is Padma Shri Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, Chairman and MD Nephron. Padma Shri Professor Mohsin Wali, a cardiologist and physician, also joins us live. Group Captain UK Devnath, aviation expert, is with us live on the broadcast. Vipul Saxena, aviation expert, also joins us live. Let me begin with you first, Dr. Bagai. Looking at the rise in cases of Omicron now, what do you believe the strategy should be to deal with this fresh crisis? Dr. Bagai, can you hear me? Okay. I don't think we have Dr. Bagai there. Let me get in Dr. Wali. Do we have Dr. Wali with us? Dr. Wali?
Yes, I'm there, yes, sir.
Dr. Wali, what do you believe should be the strategy, sir, to deal with the rise in cases both domestically and also vis-a-vis international arrivals, sir? Because it's obviously coming from outside India, but now beginning to spread.
Yes, thank you very much. Udayji, strategy has to be planned. It won't develop overnight. And I have a very simple solution. The passengers have to be triaged. You know, exit point from the aircraft, they lead us to the lounges, and then there are different lounges. So from there has to be medical staff, paramedical staff, and guides who should triage these people, depending upon their travel history, short interview, 1-minute interview. And they should triage them according to the need, which should be explained to them.
Join किया हुआ मैंने.
I think I have to continue.
Other guests to please mute themselves. I'll request our other guests to please mute themselves. We can hear you and we are on air right now. Dr. Wali, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was telling that there is a simple solution to this triage of these passengers. And Uttamji would better explain it. How can they triage at that exit point? So they have to be sorting out right there. Once the passengers gets mixed up in the hall, what you have seen, the chaotic videos and chaotic pictures, and the is a risk. You see, I was totally upset seeing those pictures that we are creating another hotspot at the airport, which should never have been done. We have a very big airport. We have not a smaller airport. So at this big place, we have to triage these patients and sort them out and send them for the test. And the government has done a good thing. They have planned additional machines for the rapid PCR tests, and 120 rapid PCR machines have been installed, which can do 500 to 600 tests per hour. So even if a passenger has to wait for 45 minutes to 1 hour, he would not be disturbed. But I have reports passengers have stayed till 6 hours, 8 hours. And this is not risking them. This is risking others. Through them, if one of them is carrying this Omicron, and we know this is so much contagious and it will spread to the whole crowd, and we have to sort the passengers from UK, South Africa, Brazil, Botswana, Hong Kong, New Zealand, Mauritius, and lastly, Israel. So we have to really sort them out, make them comfortable, and there should be somebody to explain them why they are waiting. So this is the management sort of issue. It has nothing to do with medical issue. Medical work starts once they take the sample, and patient should be reassured. You see, patient's objection is correct. Passenger's objection is correct, because they are paying for the test. Why should they wait, and why should they be placed like in a crowds-like situation, crowded together? they should be very, we used to make circles on the roads, 2-meter distance. So we have all forgotten those norms. So we have to keep them away from each other and make sure they are wearing, if possible, double mask, or at least they are wearing single mask, and they are not shaking hands, they are not hugging, they are not going near each other. And these normal COVID appropriate behavior has to be observed after the alighting of the passengers. This is my take on this subject. And I am saying repeatedly that we have not to generate a hot spot at the airport. And this is the technical explanation. And thank you very much. I would add to it further.
Yeah, I'll come back to you. Let me go across to Dr. Bagai as well. Once again, if he can hear me now. Dr. Bagai, can you hear me now? Do we have him with us?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, Dr. Bagai, we are seeing, of course, now, obviously, international cases begin to rise where people who've traveled from these at-risk countries are testing positive in India. Looking at this, what should be our strategy of quarantine restrictions, of travel restrictions, of testing guidelines vis-a-vis those coming in from out of India to India? And also, how can the process be further streamlined at airport, where we don't create hotspots in airport with huge rushes like we're seeing, unfortunately, in some of these visuals on our screen?
Yeah, so there are 2 or 3 points. I think every international literature and WHO recommendation themselves states that the international travel ban is actually counterproductive and non-scientific. What we need is an appropriate strategy of screening of passengers irrespective of the variant. Now, let's go into this slightly in detail. Bullet points. 1, a full loaded flight is always fraught of danger. There is data to show that if you keep spacing, even with the international flights, the incidence of getting COVID is much lesser. 2 is the precautions taken during the flight. We know that cloth masks, surgical masks are not good enough for a penetrative virus, not only Delta, but now Omicron. So therefore, it is important that a minimum requirement should be an N95. Point number 3 is when the passengers disembark, there has to be appropriate staff so that social distancing is kept. There are 2 or 3 beautiful computerized physics and what we call as kinetodynamic studies which have come out in the last week, which have shown social distancing decreases the transmission and spread and incidence. It is calculated feet by feet, meter by meter. Therefore, close proximity only enhances the danger. Point number 4 is when you are in a close cluster, like an airport arrival lounge, and people are scrambling very close to each other, either for testing, most of them are not wearing a mask. This will very clearly become a hotbed and a potential site where infection can spread. Last important point is we are relying totally on what we call as RT-PCR. For the last year and a half, we know that the RT-PCR has a maximum sensitivity between 67 to 83%. So say roughly 20 to 25% of the patients will be missed in the diagnosis with RT-PCR. We also know that there are refinements to these testing protocols known as rapid antigen tests. The rapid antigen tests have evolved beautifully in the last 6 months. There is a lateral flow rapid antigen test, there is a vertical flow, there is an enhanced amplified RAT, which has a sensitivity and specificity close to 98 to 99% on both, picking up false positives and negatives. Also, the rapid antigen test targets the N-terminal domain. In the Omicron, the maximum focus is of the 32 to 37 mutations in the S part of the protein. Therefore, the chance of picking up this variant specifically is even better and enhanced with rapid antigen. It is cheaper. You get a report within 1 hour. It's more accurate. And the important thing in rapid antigen test is that it gives you a pickup. That means accuracy 1.5 days before the RT-PCR can pick up the load. So let me explain this in the last 10 seconds. The timing of the test is important. So if we randomly keep doing RT-PCRs before you board a flight, as soon as you get down from the flight, you will miss a lot of false positive and false negative cases. You have to time the test. Therefore, the rapid antigen test picks up when you are at the infectious most. That means when you are most likely to transmit this infection to others who are close to you. So we have to use a judicious mix of rapid antigen test and RT-PCR. RT-PCR, remember, is a diagnostic test. Rapid antigen is for mass screening because it has proven its worth in that. So we have to use what we need to use. We have to put the right horses and the right cart at the right track. At the present moment, I think a lot of things are running amok, especially at the airports. Over to you.
Yes, they certainly are. In fact, let me get in at this point our aviation experts on the broadcast as well. Group Captain Devnath, what needs to happen, sir, at airports and on flights to ensure that we continue to up our guard against this new variant, particularly, of course, the international flights, but also now domestic ones as well, as cases begin to rise with a fear of domestic spread possibly beginning as well. Group Captain Devnath?
This mic is off. Absolutely. Absolutely. Uday, other than medical, scientific and treatment part of this epidemic, the administrative convenience has to be made much easier for the passengers. Being a part of aviation community, I must explain to viewers that there is no reason for panic. All that is required that passengers coming from these 11 high-risk countries are aware of the procedure. Presumably, many of them are not aware. So the word must spread by various means that they must log on to Air Suvidha portal of Government of India, which is available on www.newdelhiairport.in. This is a very user-friendly portal, and it tells the passenger that before embarkation, step by step, what procedure he should follow. See, some passengers are creating confusion because they are under impression that in case they have taken 2 jabs of COVID in Africa or in any one of these 11 countries, then they need not take pre-boarding RT-PCR test. Actually, it is not so. Pre-boarding RT-PCR test within 48 hours of departure is a must, even if the passenger has taken 2 jabs of the Covishield or any other jab. Similarly, on arrival at Indian destination, say at Indira Gandhi at IGI, he has to do on arrival an RT-PCR test. For this, very easy provision is available on Air Suvidha portal. He can pre-book and pre-pay. So there is no rush, there is no waiting period. Absolutely smooth flow of passengers is taking place at IGI. In fact, DIAL CEO Videsh Jaipuria is presently handling the administration and management part of this protocol. He has positioned additional 400 staff. He has installed more than 120 RT-PCR machines. 20 windows have been made available to the passengers. So even if it's a big aircraft with 400 passengers lands from any one of these 11 highly risky countries, if there are 20 windows available, it is easy to assume that not more than 20 people will be on each counter, on each window. And in case they have pre-booked it, the process is very, very easy. Initially, there were some hiccups because some passengers did not have adequate means. They didn't have the means of making payment, rupee payment. But now those initial hiccups have been overcome, and all passengers can easily make the $59 or £59 or so payment so easily. Uday?
Yes, they really can. And I want to quickly take that across to Vipul Saxena as well for his take, Vipul, on the current restrictions, whether they need to be up now, looking at the rise in cases, and also whether we need to now look at a possible travel ban to certain countries as a next step.
See, Uday, I would say that now it's more than a year that the whole world has gone through this trauma of COVID.
And I think though through harder way, but now we all have learned how to live with corona. And I think that should be accepted as a part of life now. Instead of putting restriction on stopping flights between the countries and all, I don't subscribe to that. So that should continue, and business as usual should continue. Only thing is, what is required now, that world over now, all the people have been made well aware through various campaigns, various government advertisements, NGOs, various organizational level awareness. They all know what is to be done. Now it is only the matter of, I would say, attitude of the people who either take seriously or don't take seriously. That needs to be disciplined enough through various means. And I think various governments and various authorities need to tighten the nose on this part. If there is anybody who is not cooperating, then it will be treated strictly. And in that, I would suggest that media should also play very, very positive and a very, very supportive role. Instead of making those issues, as a negative issue, they should try to expose those people who are not cooperating with this kind of restrictions. Apart from that, I would also suggest the Minister of Civil Aviation that even in flight, there may be some passengers who don't cooperate. There have been a lot of cases where passengers in the flight have been not following the COVID appropriate behavior, and it becomes problem and threat to various other passengers. So I think the Minister of Civil Aviation and DGCA must include this also as one of the behavior as unruly passenger, and the passenger who is not cooperating should be dealt with accordingly. So I think with few disciplines put in place and enough and very comfortable, convenient RT-PCR antigen test facility at the airport and other part of the city, I think there is no need to panic either to the passengers nor to the crew of the aircraft or the maintenance crew or anybody for that matter. We have to live with the COVID. We have learned it enough over last about 2 years. Uday?
Yes, indeed. Let me take that across to Dr. Valli as well. Now, Dr. Valli, should we now ensure that perhaps there's a travel ban next? Should we look at further stringent quarantine mechanisms, because those in home quarantine in some cases aren't really obeying it but are stepping out, visiting places, meeting people? Is institutional quarantine then the need of the hour, particularly for those coming from at-risk countries? What should be the next steps taken, given the fact that now cases are beginning to slowly rise in various parts of the country?
Yeah, this is very important side of the story you have brought out. Yes, this is correct. People are not observing home quarantine properly and they think we are through. This feeling is sadistic, negative, harmful, and more risky to the people whom they are visiting. Before that, I would like to bring this point that there is two amount tariff at the airport. One is 600. The report will come in 6 to 8 hours, and one is 3,500 for which they promise to give the report within an hour. So this disparity might be a future objection for the passengers in a big way. So we have to streamline this. This is for RT-PCR I am talking, and this should be same. Then quarantine issue is very important because this is the period with this new virus we know very little about. And this is the minimum thing which they can observe, quarantine, isolate themselves. And most of them are educated people. They know the importance of, this is very, very liberal step that they have been allowed quarantine at home. And this sounds fine. And if they can discipline this would be wonderful. Many friends of mine during Delta period have gone to US and they have with full discipline stayed at home. And they had the benefit of it. So we have to be, as sir was saying just now, disciplined. Otherwise, loss is ours. There is no need to plan a punishment or take action or a stringent action. You see, traveling is also a fundamental right. You can't curtail. And this is for sure that air travel would not stop because of this virus. So far, what data we have, on the basis of that, I am saying. And this would be a very severe decision, if at all it will be implemented, because WHO has given clear issues, has issued directions, clear directions on this, that travel ban is not anticipated in the near future. So my take on this is discipline yourself, use Air Suvidha portal and get yourself vaccinated. I will again come back to the mask. Mask is the best friend. Mask is the best friend. And I was talking to that crowd virus and I saw the pictures before your program. Some of the pictures available are really scary. So you have to be really confined to the distance which is recommended, and if somebody is coughing, that 2-meter distance would not be enough. This also everybody should know. So best is to have a double mask and isolate yourself, practice COVID appropriate behavior, and follow all these instructions. Get your test done, and 99 out of 100 you will be safe and your test would be negative, but the test is to be done. And probably in the coming days, we will devise some rapid method of screening. As Dr. Bahigues has said, this I don't know why this is not getting popular. This antigen test is absolutely wonderful test. Right from the beginning, I'm saying in March last year, I introduced one test too, but no, nothing was done at that time. Now we have time to, but the better strips available with the better methodology of rapid test, rapid antigen test, and they have given a very nice name to it, RAT test. So do it fast and clear the crowds. Otherwise, there will be another problem generating from the airport, and this would be really very bad. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Bagai, come in here on, of course, not just now the travel situation, which I will address with our aviation experts once again, but also, is it inevitable now that perhaps some domestic restrictions will also return?
I think more important is not whether it's national or international travel. I think travel per se needs very comprehensive revisited guidelines. Remember that we have also opened all the bus routes, interstate routes, crisscross across the country, domestic travel, train travel. Now, if you look at the state of New Delhi railway station or Bombay Central Station or any other major metropole station, there would probably be a huge amount of crowd who are not particularly individually maintaining the protocols. And you can't have a policeman over each person. So I think you need to stagger the timings of whether it be the buses, the trains, or the air travel, and put very, very clear-cut guidelines and put fines. You can't have a research of now this potential variant to increase at this stage, keeping in mind 3 important facts. One is that the variant is new and it is behaving very mischievously. It has more number of mutations than we ever thought at very sensitive points of the S part of the protein. Point number 2, we are entering the winter months, and we know that cold temperature, that means winter in terms of humidity, relative humidity and temperature, increases the spread of COVID virus. And point number 3 is that pollution enhances the spread of COVID. Keeping all these parameters in mind, we need to revisit the basics. Masking will prevent death. Social distancing is critical. Socializing in close clusters or poorly ventilated places is a disaster. So we need to revisit the masking policy. Of course, the double vaccination is critical at this stage. Masking policy and ventilation policy.
Okay, I'll have to leave it at that because we're getting some more news now coming in. My thanks to our guests for joining us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.